Hello everyone and welcome back to another instalment of our Portuguese barn conversion series.
We're super stoked with the progress on the house. Things are really coming together. Although in this video, you're gonna find out that not everything goes to plan.
We're the indie projects, Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cats, Ginjey Bear and Fernando. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home. So today, it's the first day it's not rained in about 10 days. The sun is out. The wind is also out and we're making the most of it because the rain is going to be coming back, but it's just really nice to be able to just stand outside and not be covered in rain. So we left the last episode on a cliffhanger. Here is the finished gable. It looks amazing, it blends in wonderfully. Theo's done an absolutely cracking job. And up here, we've just got one more thing to do, which is put the finishing tiles on the edge so the rain goes over them and stays away from the wall.
So I may have picked up another new tool. It seems every week that I'm picking up a new tool, but
a useful tool.
It's very useful. This is a Bosch angle grinder. I've got a small angle grinder that I was using before, but it's just not big enough. And this is a meaty one. And also, I got a nice diamond blade so I can cut nicely through all of the stone. And some of them big boulders you saw, I can shape them a little bit nicer. Also, I got some more router bits, not router, router. I've just changed the chain on my chainsaw and I'm very excited, but I've only got an hour. As much as I want to get to work on the house and do little bits and bobs, an hour's not enough time to get all my equipment out, get going on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop down some broom right now and just get some jobs done around the land, but I need to fill up the chain oil and then I'm ready to go. So these ones are rotten. I'm going to start on these. They've already basically fallen down. Either that or wild boar have been here knocking them down.
Now normally while Theo's doing that, I'll be collecting all the broom up and starting a burn pile because it's been damp. It's the perfect time to do that, but it's so breezy today that I just don't think it's a very good idea to do a fire. So hopefully tomorrow, if there's no wind, we can get all this burned.
Look how massive this broom is. They get so big.
It's trying to disguise itself. It's got oak leaves in it.
But it's literally just fallen over.
Massive.
Oh. Fallen over, so I'm just going to chop it up. One of the big problems we get is the broom growing around other trees that we want to keep. So one of the main things I want to do is clear them other trees so they can thrive and the broom can go somewhere else.
Okay, so we've had our hour of cutting. Time is up. As you can tell, the sun has gone. It's actually gone super dark and sunset's not for about 3 hours, so I think the rain is imminent, but I'm really happy with what we've done so far. Started clearing up my favourite fig tree that has been covered in brambles and broom for years, so it's going to be really lovely to have that exposed and flourishing in the summertime. And I thought I'd just show you the clear up we've done. This is all the broom. Look at this beautiful cork tree that we've exposed. They're protected in Portugal, you can't actually cut them down, and they're really beautiful. This is the fig tree. Look at the space here. This has always had broom on it, so now we can directly see the cabin. And then up here, more trees are exposed, like this gorgeous oak, another fig, a baby cork, and you can see the broom scattered around that we're going to burn in a few days. Before we show you the woodworm infested wood, I wanted to say a big thank you to today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Now, Squarespace is a fantastic online platform for you to build and design your very own website, and it's great because you don't need to have any experience in web design whatsoever. I have complete control over our website, which is with Squarespace, and I love being able to browse through all the different themes on there that I can completely customize to us, changing the colors, drag and drop features. It's a great place for us to be able to host our podcast, our blog, our newsletter, and even our shop. I really do enjoy using Squarespace, and it gives me confidence when it comes to managing our own website. Now, if you want to try it, just head to squarespace.com/indieprojects, or just click the link in our description for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Now, give it a go. You also get a 14-day free trial, and you can see what you want to do on Squarespace.
So yesterday we got the delivery of our chestnut beams that we've been waiting for our mezzanine build, and we couldn't be more excited, but the guy dropped them off and it was such a big anticlimax because it all happened really quickly. He dropped the beams off, it was pouring with rain, we got them under the veranda, he left, we checked the wood, and they are riddled with beetles.
So this chestnut wood was long anticipated. You can't just go to the shop and pick it off the shelf. We had to get it from a lumber yard who ordered it all the way from Spain, and it took a month for it to get here. So we were really excited for it to arrive. And as you know, we have been using chestnut throughout the rest of the build. It looks really beautiful on the roof and the veranda.
As Bee mentioned, chestnut, when it's sanded back and it's oiled or it's stained, it brings out the grain, and this looks gorgeous. Everyone who turns up to our property to deliver stuff, they're all rush over to the veranda and they're like, wow, what is this? What is this? And I'm like, it's chestnut, and they love it. So that is exactly what we were going for, a real standout, make a big kind of impact as you see the building, which it's definitely done. And the first batch that we got from this company of chestnut, for all of the roof beams, the ridge beams, the veranda, everything, every single piece of chestnut was just perfectly straight. It's like unheard of. It was immaculate, and I don't know if they were just trying to make a statement because it was our first order, but the second batch is the biggest disappointment I've ever seen. And I don't want to be that guy who pulls out the moisture meter, but I'm going to be that guy who pulls out the moisture meter. So let's see how wet this wood actually is. Okay, so just selecting any random piece of wood. That one. Bang on 50%. That's ridiculous. This is basically just a piece of water with some wood attached to it. It's just...
And don't forget the beetles as well.
And these are structural. It came with 3 beetles, which, you know, we wasn't very happy about.
We need to show
We don't
the
really
beetles.
want to introduce like beetles to our land. It's not what we want. Luckily, they were all dead. But look at
we
this.
could see, that's the problem.
Just look at this. This is so soft. You can see in there, this is all soft, and this is structural wood. We need this to take our weight. And that's not even the worst one. I think if I flip this over, I think it's this one.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
You can see the remnants. There was some dead ones that were on there that have fallen out, but the whole beam is also covered in tiny holes.
Look at that. It just crumbles. This cannot be used at all. It's horrible stuff, and who knows if there's still living beetles left in there.
We're not confident that the other ones are going to be okay. How do you tell?
Yeah, we brought actually 12 of these beams, and they're very expensive. Like if we were to do it in pine or another type of wood like Douglas fir, it'd be a lot cheaper. We wanted to do everything the highest possible quality we could, and chestnut's the way to go. I definitely agree from the first batch that we got. But this batch is just ridiculous. How much did we pay for this?
€43 a beam.
So one beam cost €43. We have 12 beams, and we have 2 other long lengths that I was going to use for the mezzanine idea to attach the beams to, and they're pretty much like bananas. So all of the other wood that we got was nice and straight, and we got 2 long pieces that represent a banana, like literally. So I'm going to chop them beams up right now. The good thing that comes out of all of this is we've not paid for this wood. The good thing in Portugal is they deliver the wood, they give you an invoice and you pay it after. There's no way I'm paying for this.
No, they can have this back. I don't want it on here at all.
They can come and collect it, that's fine. Here's the bananas. That is ridiculously wonky. Like that's not even acceptable to give me.
Well, it also gets thinner at this end.
I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't even cut this up because I don't think I can accept this either. Like look at that. Like that's flat.
Oh wow, you can really see. I need to show on the camera the width change.
It's bowed. Really bowed. I don't think this one's as bad, but still. It's whether we can bend it into shape, but that might put pressure on the wood. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right now, this is the wood that we got in a delivery that we couldn't see any visible damage to by beetles. So we covered it up.
But it was pouring down with rain.
Yeah, it was pouring down with rain. So we're going to check it now and see. We've got the chickens helping, we've got Fernando helping, the whole family affair. Oh.
The whole crew.
Ginjey is sleeping in the caravan, for anyone who's wondering. Let's see. You should do I was just about to say, you should do a moisture test.
I'm already on it, don't worry about it.
Turn it towards me.
$33.
I don't know what's good, but
26.
I feel like that's quite high.
29. Still pretty damp.
Let's have a good look at this wood now and
so
see.
what we're looking for is any holes, any visible little holes where beetle might have got into. Yeah, you can see.
Oh, this one's covered in tiny holes.
There's holes everywhere, all over it.
All over, yeah. Literally everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. I don't know. I need to do some research into holy wood, but I mean, my gut is telling me that sucks.
I feel like just sending the whole batch back.
Yeah.
So what I was hoping for is I've got wood left over and I over-ordered of this just in case there were a few bananas in there. And I've got some chestnut left over from the roof build. And with this, I need 11 beams. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 in there. So that makes 11. So I've got just enough to do the mezzanine if I use this wood. But
it's got holes in it.
I don't know. I don't.
Like, surely that's not structurally sound if it's got millions of tiny little holes. Like, I mean, something's been burrowing in there.
Exactly. It's brand new wood, isn't it? It's like if it was like reclaimed wood, I'd be like, that's all right. We can treat it and we can still use it. But the fact that this is brand new, straight from the yard, it seems ridiculous. There.
Mad.
Just little holes. I don't think them little holes would do anything.
But how do you know?
Like, this wood can, like, when you look at old houses, a lot of the old houses in Portugal, you know, they're 100 years old, they've got the original beams and they've got beetle damage all in them and they're still standing perfectly fine. But I wouldn't really want to start on our new building with beetle damaged wood. That seems counterproductive. So I think we really need to speak to the yard and see, you know, let's see if we can get them to just give it to us for free. That's not going to happen.
No.
But I can do my best. They can come and pick it up and take it all away. I was going to try and cut these banana beams up and see if they fit for my idea for the mezzanine, but looking at them, I don't even think it's worth even trying. They're so bent that I'm going to have to bolt them in place and bend them back, which is going to put pressure on that wood as well, which, you know, it's not ideal, is it?
No.
It's not ideal. I don't particularly want to wait another month or so to do the mezzanine, but
back to the drawing board.
Exactly.
So we are trying to figure out alternatives, and we might have an alternative because we do have some really beautiful pieces of leftover chestnut from the original delivery that are massive. They're way too big, so they need to be cut down. So we're going to see if the size of them would equate to the size of those beams, and if we could take them to a local lumber yard and they could cut them down for us.
So we've got this massive beam here, we've got another massive beam here that's all been covered, and this was from the original batch, and the old builder, when he made the order, for some reason this wood was left over. He'd ordered too many beams, which was a bit annoying because these 2 beams were like 500 euros. So it's quite a lot to front, but we just wanted to get on with it, so we fronted the bill. But anyway, maybe we can get these cut down. I was going to use these, but measuring them, it looks like out of this big beam, because of the size of it, it's not quite big enough to get 3 beams out of. So you only get 2 beams out of it, so there's going to be a lot of wastage, which means you're only going to get 2 beams out of this, so that's 4 beams.
This massive one? Because They only need to be 2 metres, don't they?
2 metres. They're not going to be 4 metres long.
Is it 3?
360. So it's not enough.
So we could get 2 out of that, 2 out of that.
That's 4.
What's this?
You get 1 out of that.
So we could get 5.
5, and then
how
we've
many?
got 3.
So that's only 8.
8. We need 11.
Damn! It's so annoying. This was the next step for the project, was the mezzanine.
You just want to keep going, just want to speed up the process and keep going.
I think we need to find another lumberyard that does chestnut.
I've got a contact, so
Good, that's good.
I'll figure it out.
Oh, man.
Lovely beam though, isn't it?
Our audience, you're big fans of the Indie Projects barn conversion, aren't you? Have you gone shy now the camera's pointed on you? Oh, Betty, beautiful boy.
We got good news.
Why?
They're going to replace the wood.
Yeah.
So because we've not paid, it makes it a lot easier for us to go, hang on a minute, this isn't right. And they blamed it on a new supplier. They said, oh, new suppliers let us down. But I'm thinking, it's still come to your yard and you've let that go out. There's no kind of quality control, but they've been really good about it. They said, look, 10 days, we'll get you some new chestnut and we'll come and pick the other stuff up. So I think that's pretty good. We've already moved the other chestnut to the very bottom of our land, away from any of our other wood. But I think that's the best thing to do, you know. All of our wood's treated anyway from bugs, but you can never be safe enough.
No. And Theo's just modelling the latest accessory for 2021, February. Spring summer look. It's called the Fernando fedora.
It's funny, but when he puts a claw into your scalp, it's not very nice.
Almost like the claw in my eye this morning.
I know, I think he's trying to kill us.
I think he is.
So this week didn't go as we had planned, but because we live here full time on our off-grid property, whilst we are also building our house, there's always stuff to do, which included cutting down the broom, and we really do hope that the wood arrives fast because, like we said, we've been waiting so long for it, and we do hope that the next delivery is much better than this one that we just had. But we've got a lot to get going on with. The weather is clearing up so we can really begin to work on the projects that we wanted to. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.